We're a human rights organization, and we have documentations of everything. This is why they raided Al-Haq and they raided human rights organizations, because they fear documentation. They fear being exposed. They fear. They are not by ICC, which is International Criminal Court. Israel is not part of it. Doesn't this suggest something? Why are you not part of ICC? Because you're the criminal. Why would you go to your own death? Why? And they ruled that Palestine is in their jurisdiction, and they were investigating the crimes against humanity, the war crimes that happened in Gaza. This is not the first time that Gaza was bombed. Whenever there's an election in Israel and a party wants to gain more votes, what they do? They just do free killing. This is how they get votes. By who kills more Palestinians, I'll vote for you. This is the mindset. This is the mindset. Ethnically cleansing Palestine, because their vision is takes over all Palestine. They chant in their own national anthem. They teach kids. That's not just Palestine. Their vision, long term, they call the bigger Israel, which is taken all over Iraq, Syria, Palestine, Egypt. They chant from Furat. I don't know if you know the river from Furat. It's in Iraq, till Sina, till Nile, which is in Egypt. So it is a long-term vision, and every day, look at the map. Every day, they're taking bits and pieces. And by the way, this is in 2012. This is nothing. Now, we are 11 years later, we barely have any green. Barely. Maybe now they control 85% of the land. And by the way, those 15% which we are living in, we don't have our free will. Whenever they want, they have checkpoints. If you want to go from one city to the other, you have. Our math in Palestine is different. So if you need to go from one city to the other, let's say it's by distance 1 hour, but you have to take into consideration the checkpoint. So it will be 2 hours. So at 1 hour, you're like, okay, but there's a checkpoint. And checkpoint, let me add to that. It's going to be 2 hours. Now it's built in us. Now I'm walking in the streets. I hear a word that links to our suffering. I go around. It's built in us. When I see an onion, what an onion resembles to you? Just something you can put to make food taste nicer. I hope, because I like onions. For us, it resembles demonstrations, because they use tear gas against us. And what do? We put onions. I was tear gas 2 years ago, and my cousin saved me from it. He's just snatched me. This is what onion resembles to us. Our flags Palestinians are being detained, are being beaten up in occupied Palestine, in occupied Jerusalem, just for holding the flag. Imagine how our existence is threatening them. Our truth, our culture. And speaking of culture, speaking of cultural appropriation, what do you do when you come to a land? You just assemble people from all over the world and throw them somewhere. They have no culture. You need to invent a culture. You're already ethnically cleansing the people, so might as well just take their culture. Falafel is Palestinian people, okay? If you love it, just thank us. Falafel is Palestinian. Culture is very important. They are fighting us, trying to erase us, not just by our bodies, but by our memory, but by our culture, by our music. Kufiyya, every line, it resembles something. It resembles the olive oil. The olive oil we love the olive oil. You have no idea how much we love our olive oil, and you need to taste the olive oil of our trees. I've never tasted anything like it. Sorry, little Aldi, but yeah, you should try the Palestinian one. Everything they're trying to erase it. They did the kufiyya, they did colors from it, and now they're using it. This is their heritage. They made pink, blue stuff from it, and they're this is us. Knafa. I don't know if you've ever tried knafa. It's such a I'm craving it now. It's a dessert made from Nablus, if you know Nablus. Now they're claiming it's ours. Shawarma, where's the Turkish guy? This is the fight between us and Turkey. No. And now Israel is claiming that this every little thing counts, even in movies. In music, they're fighting us. A movie came up just talking about the story of the massacre. I don't know if you watched Farha on Netflix. The whole government is attacking a movie and threatening Netflix to take it down. Imagine, why a government is going after a movie. Just because it's telling the truth. And it's just it's a story of one girl. This is nothing compared to what happened in 1948. Just one girl who witnessed the murders and the barbaric murders of the Israeli who raided their village. And she told her story, and now she's a refugee in Syria and cannot enter cannot come back to her country. Meanwhile, people who just don't even come from Palestine, they can easily come to Israel and live there. They live there, they can come there. Just by you being European, you can just come to Palestine, while there's someone who's craving their homeland. They're telling their kids and their grandkids about Palestine. They're trying to plant the love of Palestine. They don't want to be erased. They don't want to be erased. They thought they were saying this: the elderly will die and the young will forget and never know. They were so wrong. They were so damn wrong. I'm telling you, it's been 76 years, and our resistance and our love for our land and our attachment to who we are is even getting stronger and stronger. Stronger and stronger, because when you see oppression, you're driven by it. When you lost a loved one, you would not surrender, you would even fight back more viciously. If someone in the prison right now, you would fight for them. We have 7,000 prisoners in their prisons. For what? For fighting back. And there are people who haven't seen the day of light. Their families, there's no trials, there's no nothing. They invented something called administrative detention, which is they just take you for nothing. You're not accused of anything. They just take you for unannounced period of time, and that's it. And you can never say the day of light. And our prisons are going on hunger strikes, just to gain some of the basic rights. The people who ever get cancer, they die. There is no medical treatment, no nothing. Cancer patients, I was seeing cancer patients. I was going with my mom. Imagine, I hope everyone stays safe and all of us stay healthy, but imagine you're a cancer patient, you're still processing the fact that you are battling something so deadly, and you have to cross checkpoints on your way to get to your chemotherapy. You have to stand in line, you have to be humiliated, you have to wait an hour to be checked just to receive your treatment, which is in your occupied land. Jerusalem is only 30 minutes away from Ramallah. Me and my mom, when we go, it used to take us 3 hours. 3 hours to get to her treatment. 3 hours. And when I used to go there, the people from Gaza, they just arrived, it's too late. So I don't know if you know about the blockade, they cannot even go to receive treatment. They apply for permission, they ask for permission from Israeli, and they wait for it. Lots of them don't even receive it and they die. Simple as that. So imagine you have your kid, or you're waiting, there's hope, you just need treatment, and someone's just like telling you, no, you're gonna stay there and you're gonna die, and you die. As simple as that. And imagine you and someone is deciding you're gonna die. I'm gonna let this disease eat you up from inside. They're killing us directly, indirectly. They're killing our minds, our souls, everything. But we are rising from the ashes, and we're always gonna rise from the ashes. We're always gonna rise from the ashes because we have always done that. Lots of cancer patients, they do receive it, but just a couple of months late, and in cancer, it's very critical, and they just receive and it's already done. I've seen kids like skeletons, and they're just putting in their veins to receive, and it's too late. And the nurses would be trying to cover their tears, or it's and this is nothing. This is I can keep going on and on about the different types of oppression, the different everything. They give us different IDs. The Palestinian who lives inside occupied Palestine has a blue ID. The other one living in West Bank, he has a green ID. You cannot marry each other. If you marry each other, he loses his blue ID. And if he loses his blue ID, he doesn't have an identity. He cannot work. He cannot do anything. They're fighting everything about us. But we never surrendered, and we'll never surrender. We will never surrender. And you have no idea how much it means to us when we feel heard. When we see someone, we crave any type of support. When someone says, oh, fuck Israel, we're oh, I love this guy. This is how much we're craving support. Because we need it. I'm not telling you to go march to Palestine, but what I'm telling you is please share. please share. Knowledge is power. Truth is power. We have everything that can condemn them, everything that can expose them by IHL, by all types of conventions, by documentation, by everything. The only thing we don't have is a crowd that can deliver that message. So please, you sharing on your account leads to 300. That 300 is going to leave the other. Think about it. Think about the magnitude and the influence of it. Do not underestimate. They are launching a media war because truth is power. If people knew about the lies told about Iraq, no one would have supported that. If people knew, but later on they just apologize. They do the massacres. They just get the job done. They take over the country. They take over the oil resources and they say, apologies. Oops, I did it again, since it's US. So please, educate yourselves. Please, it's so exhausting. My friend here, she knows, like for me, we're working together, whenever I go away for 30 minutes, she knows, like, I'm telling someone about Palestine. Someone just asked me a question. And it cannot just be a question and a simple answer. I have, like, to give them, like, a recap of 76 years of oppression. That's not just in the past. That's a living hell we're living in. So please, at least help us by searching, by reading, by even following people who are just documenting things live. Just live. You just can see it live. Our genocide is being streamed live and people are cheering for it. People are cheering for it and fuck terrorism, and they don't know that they are supporting terrorism. And it's just crazy how we are so lazy mentally, and we're just receiving what others are telling us. We don't even want to use our brains. This is how lazy we are, not just physically. As a human race, we got degraded. We're not using our bodies, but our brains. We just are taking everything from others. They're telling us what to think, and we're believing them. We're like a herd. So please, be critical. Question everything. Question everything. Question yourself. Question your government. Question your family. Question everything. Question everything. Like, you being born in a country, that's not your fault. You being in a country that supports oppression, that's not your fault. But what's your fault is what you're gonna do about it. Are you gonna stay within the herd, or are you gonna do something about it? Are you gonna educate yourself? And after educating yourself, are you gonna be part of this campaign of spreading the truth, of bringing others into this lie, or you're just gonna let it slide because you already have so much on your plate? We just need to care. We just need to care. We just need to be humans. That's all I'm asking you. Just be humans. This is abnormal. People being silent while there are people who are being slaughtered, craving water, This is not normal. I refuse to believe that that's normal. I refuse to live in a world where killings are just something normal. This is not normal. This is just be a human. And not just for Palestine. Not just for Palestine. I went to Ethiopia and I was shattered. I went with my colleague. She left. She gave up on me already. She knows I talk a lot. I came here to study humanitarian action, ironically, and I wanted to learn about others. Like, imagine I already have so much going on in my country. I wanted to learn about others. What's happening in the other parts of the world? Why are they not, like, I was always asking this as a child. I was like, why no one is helping us? Like, I was, as a kid, like, I was so angry. Like, why? Like, look at like, I was thinking in this, like, simple terms. Like, there's so many people in the world, and there's so little a number. They can just come and free us. Why are they not doing it? Because they're all drowning in their own problems that were created by the same oppressor. They're dividing us by wars. They're dividing us by our own problems. They're creating a problem in this country, in this country, in this country, in this country. How can you fight for another country while you're already drowned, while your country is already bleeding? That's why we need to unite. That's why we need to create a parallel platform in media too. In media too. All the oppressed countries in Africa, Latin America, in Middle East, they all join together and create a parallel strength. Even it was through radio, through TV channels that stream the news of what's happening in their countries in their languages, in different languages. That's power. That's power. People and unity, that's power. Do not underestimate that. So please, we cannot pick up the rebels and rescue the children and the people stuck under the rubbles. We cannot go and give them food right now,
But what we can do, just press a button. Just press a button. This is as simple as that. Just press a button. This is all I'm asking for. All I'm asking for. I feel like if I'm gonna stay longer, I'm gonna cry and it's gonna be ugly tears.
What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Asil.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.